Hi, my name is Reinsma, and today I'm going to explain to you the fundamentals and equipment used in lacrosse. So I've been playing lacrosse for 2 years under Coach Sean Leahy, and he was part of the Notre Dame team a couple years ago. And even though it may seem confusing at first, lacrosse is very a fun and engaging sport. It started out in the 1600s with the Native Americans using sticks and animal hides to play the game, but was later modified by Europeans, but still most of the same rules apply. So to start out with the equipment, a standard helmet is used. You need a mouth guard. I recommend one that you can attach to the helmet so you don't lose it. And I actually learned that a mouth guard doesn't protect your teeth, it protects you from getting concussions. So that's interesting. And then gloves. You can get these at Dick's Sporting Goods, just any normal certified gloves would work. Cleats, I recommend Under Armour or Nike, and you can use either baseball or soccer or football cleats. And then you want to use certified lacrosse ball. I recommend yellow because it's easier to see when it's in the grass. With shoulder pads, you want to make sure they're thick shoulder pads because you will be banging into people a lot. A lot of people like to take off the shoulder pads because it restricts your arm motion when you throw the ball. But just make sure they're thick, and you can get these anywhere. I recommend the STX brand. And then STX elbow pads are what you want to use. You can find these at Dick's Sporting Goods. And the stick I like to use is carbon fiber stick. These are good because they don't break. Aluminum and plastic sticks will break easily, so you just want to make sure you get a good carbon fiber stick, and that's about it. For demonstration purposes, I will leave the equipment off, but now that we have all the equipment, I will show you how to do the fundamentals of lacrosse. And first, I'm going to start out with catching the ball. So when you catch the ball, you want to obviously face the person directly, but you want, if you're catching it with your right hand, which means that the right hand is on the top of the stick, you want your left hand at the very bottom of the stick, and you want your left foot in front of your right foot, and you want to have your knees bent a little bit, and you want the stick in front of your body. And when the ball goes in the net, you want to make sure you kind of comfort the ball in the net so that it doesn't fall out, kind of like how a pillow would catch an egg. So in lacrosse, a lot of balls that you'll get will be rolling on the ground because people have dropped them. So now I'll show you how to pick up a ground ball. So first, you need to make sure that both of your hands are near the front of the stick so that you have more control over it. Second, you want to make sure that your feet are shoulder width apart, and you want to get really, really low, kind of like how you shovel snow. You want to pick up the ball, because if your stick is like this, it won't pick it up, it'll just roll out. So you want to make sure that the whole stick is low, and you want to just scoop it forward. You never want to kind of rake the ball like you would with leaves, because that takes up way too much time, and you don't have time to do that when somebody else is going for the ball. Now that you have the ball, I will show you how to throw it and pass it to one of your teammates. So if you're throwing it with your right hand, which again means that your right hand is on the top of the stick, your left hand is at the bottom, you want to make sure that you step and keep your arms high and throw it just like that, kind of like you're throwing a baseball, but you just have your left hand up at the bottom of the stick. Now I'll show you how to shoot. Shooting is very similar to passing, but something very important is different. So just like passing, you will step and have both of your arms high, but for shooting, you want to whip the ball as hard as you can down, and you want to kind of turn with it, because that will give you more power. A lot of people like to shoot underhand or side hand, but for the basics, you want to just throw it overhand, and it's best to bounce the ball before it goes in the net because it's very hard for goalies to block it. One very overlooked aspect of lacrosse, but very necessary, is cradling, and this helps keep the ball in the net as you're running down the field. So you want to keep the stick about waist high, and with your top hand, which is currently my right hand, you want to curl your bicep in a half circle up to your shoulder. So you want to go like this and keep your left hand in the same position it was before, and just keep repeatedly doing this, and it will keep the ball in the net. It uses physics, but I'm not going to explain that to you right now, but it helps keep the ball in the net using cylindrical force. And you could also cradle it by doing it, holding the stick vertical to the ground, where you keep the bottom hand steady again, but instead of curling from your waist to your shoulder, you curl from shoulder to shoulder. And this helps when people are trying to whack your stick and get the ball out. Okay, now that you know the equipment needed and the fundamentals of lacrosse, including cradling, shooting, passing, and picking up a ground ball, you can practice on your own and hopefully get a lot better. You just want to make sure you keep using repetition. Repetition is what will make you really good at lacrosse, and you just need to keep doing it over and over again, and you will get a lot better, and hopefully you have fun playing, and good day.